Hey guys, welcome back to Silverstream Learning. So in this video we speak to Dr. Bookholane about his new book titled Becoming a Doctor. This book provides some valuable insights into the journey of becoming a doctor in South Africa. But before we get into the video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel as I release similar content on a regular basis. Together we can teach, reach and inspire. But for now, let's get back into the video.
Hi everyone, and everyone who's watching and tunes into this channel. Thanks again, Marvin, for asking me to be part of this. A bit about myself. I'm a 29-year-old medical doctor. My journey into medicine started late. It didn't start. I didn't have a proclivity of becoming a doctor from a young age. Initially, I wanted to become a professional sports player while I was in high school in East London, and then when I realized that, big fish in a small pond, I thought I would pursue my academic career instead. So I came into medicine wanting to help people in immediate and concrete ways, which is to treat them when they're sick. And fast forward 10 years later, I am now motivated to be in medicine to figure out why people get sick. The biological, the psychosocial, the political, and even the economic reasons which influence and facilitate or make worse why people get sick. The book, as I've mentioned, it was initially trying to tell the story of what it is to be a doctor to the people who are outside of medicine, to the people that are first, second year medical students, or to just generate more discussion among those who've just finished their medical studies. And the book ended up, when I was writing it, it morphed into my reflections of things I've had experienced at med school, things outside of med school that influenced my journey to becoming a medical doctor. And ultimately the book is in many ways a conversation with me on these different topics and themes that have been present in my medical journey with the reader. So if someone who's in medicine will be able to relate to the book, someone who's outside of medicine, someone who's been a patient before, will be able to have some better understanding of what goes through on the inside. But most importantly, I think the book I've written is one of the many different lenses through which people within and outside of medicine can understand and appreciate what it is to be a healthcare professional and a doctor. Yes, I do write about how it's more than just Grey's Anatomy, and again, because there is so much that goes into being a medical student, being a junior doctor, becoming a specialist, and the training that Grey's Anatomy won't show us. But to be fair, and something that I do appreciate about shows like Grey's Anatomy, is that when you take away the medicine, the things that they're doing, the procedures they're doing, the storyline behind that, those things are very relatable, because the themes that they show on Grey's Anatomy, a lot of them are relatable to popular culture. They're relatable to what is happening in current affairs. And something that I like about that is very relatable with what's happening in medicine. Because what's happening in our hospitals and our healthcare facilities in many ways reflects what is happening in society. So the only thing I would take away from shows like Grey's Anatomy is just what you see being done medically may not always be realistic or the true sequence of events that would happen in terms of the medical procedures. Medicine is a science. It's a physical science in terms of its scholarship, but its practice. In practice, I think it's mostly a social science. I think from mentors, from people that I've seen in the hospitals, healthcare workers, seeing how they interact with patients, how they interact with their colleagues, I see a lot more emphasis on the social sciences and being able to have that, to have things that the physical sciences won't give you. So that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned, is that being a doctor is probably 60 to 70% how you are with people, and the other the 30% is in your medical and your clinical aptitude. That's one of the lessons. The other lesson I've learned is that, particularly for those who are in medical school and those wanting to come into medical school, is that you'll learn a lot throughout medicine, through your medical career. Everything you need to be able to diagnose, to treat, and provide the best level of care you can. But do not forget that everything happening around you, in society, in the world, plays a key role in influencing how you can provide that care, and the stories of those people who come into your hospital as patients. You need to be really aware of everything that's happening around you, because at the end of the day, when patients come into the hospital, they bring their whole selves with them. The main target audience is people who are within medicine: medical students, junior doctors, senior doctors, healthcare workers in general, but importantly, for people who either have loved ones that are in the medical profession, or they know someone who's in the medical profession. And probably the biggest one is people who've been patients in these types of institutions, like your Groote Hospital, these big public facilities, even the private ones, is that those people, their experience when they are patients, it's a very particular type of experience. But I think once they get discharged and they get better and zoom out, reflecting on their experience as a patient and comparing it to what the healthcare worker might describe as their experience of the healthcare system, could start such brilliant conversations and maybe help us fix the many different problems our health system has. To be present, to be present, but to borrow from a philosopher who spoke about the concept of being on the dance floor and the balcony at the same time. While you're going through this anxiety, intense period, this scary, unpredictable, period that's fueled by the COVID-19 pandemic, be present. Take note of how you're feeling, of how you're adjusting, how you are not adjusting, how you're adapting, how you're not adapting. Take note of that, but also be on the balcony. Try and be observant of what's actually happening. What's happening around you? Why are you struggling? Why are other people not struggling? Because being able to simultaneously be a participant and an observer will do such wonders for yourself in your own personal growth and dealing with situations, and in particular in medicine. But that too will help with your own self-awareness to realize that medicine is consistently going to be the most unpredictable career. It's going to be, even if you work in the same specialty for many, many years, that there are only so many things you can control for. So being able to zoom out, as difficult as it might be, I think that's the advice I would give to people, to be in the moment, feel what you're feeling, speak to those who you can open up to, but to also zoom out a little bit and try to see the big picture. Do it. Medicine is an incredibly rewarding and exciting field, and especially now, after this pandemic, because much of the things I've said in the beginning is that medicine and the patients and the individuals that come to our hospitals as patients, they reflect what is happening in our society. You'll learn about medicine, But at the same time, if you look out for it, you're going to learn so many lessons about society, about human nature, about politics, about economics, about geopolitics, about how all of these things that may be happening very distal to you influence what's happening. But even then, try as best you can to reach out to people to go and see what is it that it takes to go through and become a medical doctor. What are the difficult things? What have people struggled with? What have people found challenging, or what have people enjoyed doing? Because I think there's something to be said to shadowing someone who's already an established specialist, but that person, for better or for worse, is unlikely to relate to you in the medical experience you'll have now. So maybe consider reaching out to young doctors or interns who've just started working, or final year medical students, because their perception, their reality of the healthcare system is much closer to that which you're going to go into as a student and then as a medical doctor. Fortunately, the book is widely available. So if you're looking for a hardcover book, you can find one at your exclusive bookstores, CUM Books, or any other big, book chain that's available in your town or city. You can order online from Exclusive Books. You can order online from loot.com. Take-A-Lot should be going live soon with their own, where you can order books from Take-A-Lot. And if you are someone who prefers the ebook, or you are someone who's not in South Africa, you can order the ebook on Kindle and Amazon. And hopefully we'll be able to have bigger and better discussions about the contents of the book. And the official launch will be on the 2nd of September. I think that is a Tuesday. So you can tune into that as well.